Hello, my name is Nathan Vogt, and this video will be over debunking brain myths with Concordia University Portland, theories of teaching and learning. The brain is the command center of our bodies. With 100 billion neurons, 100 trillion connections, and approximately 3 pounds, it is a unique organ to the body. The brain is divided into two similar halves, or hemispheres. Each hemisphere has within it regions that control certain functions and are different on how they process information. This has led many to believe that the right hemisphere is responsible for the control of the left side of the body and is more artistic and creative side of the brain, while the left hemisphere is responsible for controlling the right side of the body and is the more academic and logical side of the brain. While it is true the right hemisphere controls the left side of the body and the left side controls the right side of the body, the part about each hemisphere is divided into artistic/creative or a academic/logical side is false. This is in contrast to everything you have thought before, as the idea has spread all over the internet with hundreds of tests to see if you are more artistic or academic, as seen here on Facebook. So why do we believe this idea for? Roger Sperry, a researcher from Caltech, performed experiments on cats, monkeys, and humans to study the functional difference between the two hemispheres of the brain. Sperry severed the nerve that connects the two hemispheres of the brain in cats and monkeys to study the function of each side of the brain. What he found was that two hemispheres function independently of one another, which he called a split brain. The split brain enabled animals to memorize double the information. Sperry went on to test the same idea in humans by cutting the same nerve as treatment for epilepsy. He found that the hemispheres in human brains had different functions. The left hemisphere interpreted language, but not the right. In the 1950s, Sperry began his research on split brain to find out the function of the corpus callosum, the nerve that connects the two hemispheres. He learned that humans showed no difference in functions with or without the corpus callosum cut, even though both sides of the brain no longer communicated with each other. The issue was that Sperry found clever ways to feed information to each side of the brain that were strongly lateralized with particular skills, allowing the specialties of each hemisphere to become more distinguished. With more careful study, it became apparent that a person with their corpus callosum severed became two persons. The problem with this belief that each hemisphere is divided with artistic, creative, or an academic, logical side is that it doesn't make any sense. The brain is more complicated than something so simple. After all, the brain named itself. I see this as an issue in today's education, especially in the debate between STEM versus STEAM. While I am an art teacher and strongly believe in incorporating the arts with the science, technology, engineering, and math, I can acknowledge that it was already there. An engineer has to be mathematical and artistic in their design, just as a graphic designer still has to use technology and the principles of designs in their creation. To me, the big difference is STEAM focuses on more creative solutions than STEM, helping to think outside the box for a solution. In the book, How We Learn, The Surprising Truth About When, Where, and Why It Happens, Benedict Carey talks about his expectation of giving a talk to 7th graders about a mystery novel he was writing for kids. When he arrived, he was ushered onto a stage where the school was gathering to listen to him give a presentation. To buy himself time, he gave the students a puzzle. This is a very famous puzzle, and I promise, any of you here can solve it. Students had 6 pencils and needed to create 4 equilateral triangles, with 1 pencil forming the side of each triangle. 6 pencils, 4 triangles. Easy, right? Go. After giving the students 5 minutes, he gave them a distraction from their puzzle. Later, when they returned to the pencil puzzle, a student came up with a solution, though not the traditional solution. To me, while Carrie was looking at the puzzle from a STEM view, the student was able to solve it by thinking creatively and outside the normal train of thought. This is why left brain versus right brain, creative versus logical, doesn't make any sense. Thank you for joining me in debunking this myth between right brain versus left brain.